Well, I think it's we did have a massive slump back in 23 and 22. Sort of we found the footing in 24. We find the footing again in the market due to the fact that there was a new kind of energy that came into the startup ecosystem, and that was predominantly all about AI. And I would say that the US has been a little bit ahead of the curve, as they very often are. But you see a lot of funding activity at the tail end of the year. So I think, although for the full year it sounds a bit gloomy, it's not as gloomy if you just look at the second half of the year.
Okay, so dare I say it, green shoots in the second half of the year. Pär-Jörgen, I think investing in your domain at the moment has got stunningly tough. I know that we're all excited about AI, and that's the problem. We're all excited about AI, and ergo, everyone's rushing into the sector. You've got the private equity people who are saying, what are these VC chaps doing at the moment? Maybe we should have a bit of that as well. So everybody's piling in as well. And it's torturous, isn't it? Because a lot of these companies are going to be absolute stummers. So your power law, where you make one or two exponential, brilliant exponential profits, it's going to be even tougher in 2025, isn't it?
No, I would disagree, because there's a lot of sort of technology cycles that you have to take into consideration. I think a lot of the setbacks for the prior years is about like a paradigm that has kind of come to a plateau, and quite a few of those companies that didn't sort of hit the funding window, they were suffering, and consequently they created pretty disappointing returns for many of the VCs. But then comes AI, and also there is still a lot of, there is a lot of action in healthcare and also in fintech that sort of has regained the momentum. And I would say that with the underlying growth we see in many of those companies that have been funded during the tail end of 2024, I see very positive signs on the returns horizon.
Pär-Jörgen, it's Arjun here. Look, last year you mentioned AI. A lot of the focus was on AI models, foundational models, large language models, and that's where you saw these astronomical funding rounds coming from globally, even here in Europe. Does the focus shift this year in the VC world in terms of where you're investing that money when it comes to AI? Are there more viable applications, and actually, are there companies able to make money off this technology?
Absolutely, and I think that's a great question, because the focus of the past 24 months has been on these huge horizontal language models, and they have been very much driven by the large platform companies' willingness to invest in massive amounts into that. However, now the market is moving to much more focused, context-aware, very specific models, and that is sort of the home turf for venture capital investing, and that's also where you see most of the opportunities where entrepreneurs are addressing. One example is in the health tech space, where doctors can now get like a co-pilot with them that writes all their health records and massively improves the productivity. And selling into the healthcare system has been historically very, very hard. But these products from, for instance, one of our portfolio companies, Tandem Health, the products are just flying off the shelves, and we have never seen that before in the healthcare space.